Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about the most underrated players in 2023 who I thought had great seasons but didn't get the fanfare of all the other guns in the NRL. And I have put a list together of about 10 players that I thought they were deserving more credit than what their team gave them in 2023. Well, where do you start? There's so many, but let's look at the grand finalists first. Then we're going to go from the grand finalists. I thought he was one of their best all season long, and again proved to be one of the difference in the grand final. Moses Leota, absolute out of this world. I could add Jack Cogger also to this list. He had a great underrated season. He came in when Nathan Cleary needed him most, and he came up and was big in the grand final as well. So you can add him to the list as well. But over a full season is more what I'm looking at here. Moses Leota, absolutely outstanding. Very much consistent player. Very consistent all day long. Never gets the reps that he deserves. And another person I haven't got on this list, but you could add Taruva to that list as well. Very consistent all season, but got Rookie of the Year. But like no one talks about him as being a superstar, but he had a great season as well for the Panthers. So there's quite a few for the Penrith Panthers that had good seasons. Even Scott Sorensen you could add to that list, but we can't go through them all. After that, well, who's next on the list? Well, I'm going to go for Tohu Harris from the Warriors. You could also add Wade Egan to this list as well, but I can't go through everybody. But Tohu Harris is the unsung hero of the Warriors. Absolutely outstanding, consistent. And then there's so many players like this in the NRL in the past. Like for the Warriors, you had Michael Luck, you had Kevin Cappian for a few years. Just playing Simon Mannering. Just consistent players, year in, year out. Don't get the fanfare. But everybody in the team wants them in the team because you know what you're going to get every single week out of this player. Absolutely outstanding player, Tohu Harris. Underrated, and what a great season. What about from the Parramatta Eels? The season did not start great for this guy. He took the suspensions instead of taking the money fine. But Ryan Madison had, I think, his best season in the NRL. He didn't play Origin this season. I thought he played better this season than he did when he made his Origin debut. Ryan Madison is a gun player, underrated. I think he is good enough to be in a New South Wales team from now on. But I know there's a lot of players in his road, like Isaiah and there, but I can see him playing a role in the team with the right coach. Ryan Madison was very good for Parramatta, and I think a lot of true Parramatta fans, if you forget about that start of the season, he was one of their best all season. You could add Bryce Cartwright, had one of his better seasons as well to this list, but we can't pick them all, and I had to go with Ryan Madison. One player that has done a year in, year out, and he plays Origin. He's in the Australian team, but you never talk about him as one of the greats. Jake Trbojevic, yes. Gerbo, the forgotten brother of Turbo. Jake Trbojevic is absolutely Mr. Consistency all day long. Player that you want on your team every day of the week, but doesn't get the fanfare of the big guns. But he is there, and he really plays well. Now, another fella in the same team, Manly, and to me, he has been playing very good football over the last couple of years. Lachlan Croker. Absolutely, no doubt about it, he's a battler every day of the week, but he has continued to improve, and season over season, he has done well. There's a question mark, he needs to go to another level to help this team go to the next level. But he has been very consistent, Lachlan Croker. I think he's been very underrated, but he will not be underrated by his Manly teammates. He has been going well. He probably needs to go a little bit more of a next level to help Manly be back in the top 8 side. So that's something he needs to work on. But Lachlan Croker has very much been one of Manly's best all season. Phoenix Crossland, the Newcastle Knights. Talk about most underrated players. He's probably the most improved player in 2023. Absolutely out of this world. Played well. More of a half, but really took well to the hooking role this season, and he played absolutely outstanding. And even though Ponga and Hastings might have got the reps, but Phoenix Crossland to me was at least their number 2 player, but most consistent player over the whole season. He was absolutely outstanding, Phoenix Crossland. Absolutely outstanding. Talent personified. Another battler out there, but he really had a great season. Now, when you look at the Gold Coast Titans, you have Tino, you have David Fafita, but the guy that may be even more important than both of those put together is Mo Fotuaika. Yes, he's playing for Queensland, but Mo Fotuaika is so underrated. He is one of the best in the business. Very consistent player, Mo Fotuaika. And he's up with the Adam Fanua Blakes and Payne Haas's and the Tinos. He is absolutely a gun player, Mo Fotuaika. Gets forgotten about in the Australian selections from 1 and 2. He's a very good player, Mo Fotuaika. He absolutely has played great football the last couple of seasons, and he really was one of Titans' best in 2023. Now let's go to the Sharkies. Well, all the talk is about Nico Hines, but I could say both wings for this team, but Ronald Mulitalo is absolutely a gun. I would like to see him in the Warriors jersey. Put him there, the Warriors would be an absolute premiership threat. Absolutely, I would love to see him there. He would just beautifully jump in. Him and Joey Manu, put those two in the Warriors team, they win the comp. Put it that way, that's what I'd like to see. It's not going to happen, but if that was to happen, look out, the Warriors would be something absolutely out of this world. They could get a couple more of these guns into their team. But Ronald Mulitalo is good every single week. He's forgotten about. Obviously, he missed out on his opportunity to play for Queensland because of being a year late making the switch over to Queensland, which is unlucky for him. But his form hasn't dipped. He has been outstanding. Ronald Mulitalo, very, very good player. Obviously, the Brisbane Broncos here, Herbie Farnworth. They got Katoni Stacks, they got Ezra Mam, they've got Payne Haas, they got Reece Walsh, they got Adam Reynolds. The list goes on and on and on. But Herbie Farnworth, absolutely, and you can add Billy Walters as well. He really played great this season. Absolutely. He might have started a bit shaky, but he finished off absolutely brilliantly, Billy Walters. He's another one who had a great season. You could put him in the underrated category as well. But Herbie Farnworth has been consistent for quite a few years now and continues to play very good football. Good defensive, good attack. He's just the all-around package. He's absolutely brilliant. For Herbie Farnworth, I think he's a forgotten player of the best. But to me, the most underrated player, maybe the most underrated player in the last decade, you can add him into the likes of the Nathan Merritt mould, Nathan Blacklock before him. These are players that score tries for Will and just get forgotten about at the origin selection level. And this is what's happened to Alex Johnson. Absolutely fantastic. If he was a Queenslander, he would have played for Queensland by now. He is a out-and-out try-scoring freak. You put him in the New South Wales teams with Katie Walker, that team connection with Latrell Mitchell, OMG, it would be something out of this world. To me, he is the most underrated player in the competition. Alex Johnson is absolutely a try-scoring freak. Scores tries at will. Always in the right spot. Knows where to be. He is very much a very underrated player. His talent is personified and really is one of the most underrated players. Well, let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree with my selections here. You have other ones on the list that I might have left out because there's so many players you can add to these lists. But I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a taste of who I thought the most underrated players in 2023 didn't get the fanfare they deserved. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and have an awesome day out there.